Dolphins are on a bye after a 5-game winning streak. I get to just sit back and watch some football. What is up, football fans? Week 14. Week 14 of the Pick'ems. We only got 4 weeks left. After this week, we only got 4 weeks left. So a lot of these teams, a lot of these 6-6 teams, a lot of these 5-7 teams in the NFC, still in the hunt. Who's gonna go where? Who's gonna falter? Who's gonna fall apart? This is the time where NFL gets real fun and real interesting. So we're going to jump into the picks. But real quick, I have to shout out the sponsor for today's video. And also the picks are presented by mybookie.ag. All of the spreads I'm getting are from that site. You can bet literally anything from table tennis to regular tennis to MMA, NFL, UFC, all of it. Go over there, use the promo code DouglieDoWrong. You get double your first deposit. Go over there, bet responsibly, and obviously you have to be 18 or older. So let's jump into this. So looking at the Pick'em League, it hasn't changed much, right? First place is still Fins Up Switzerland. He took a 3-game lead over Puppet Master at Works. He has about a 12-game lead on me. I don't know if I'll ever be able to catch up, maybe little by little. If I could sway it 3 games at a time, maybe I can climb up. And then Denzo 239 is sitting there at 3rd place, and we got a 3-way tie at 4th place with ESPN long number, JD Picks, and ESPN long number as well. So there's that. And then last week I went 11-3. My dad went 10-4. I'm sitting there at 127.67, and my dad's sitting there at 111.82. So let's jump into tonight's game. It is the Steelers pulled off that victory against the Baltimore Ravens, taking on the Vikings, who lost. They lost to the Detroit Lions. They lost. Steelers pulled that victory off, and then you have Baltimore going for 2 instead of just kicking the extra point. I don't know why they decided to do that. And even that, Andrews was open. It's just a very bad pass from Lamar Jackson. They could have won that game. But this is going to be a very interesting game. The Miami Dolphins, and just so you know, throughout this whole pick'em today, I'm going to be telling you who I'm picking and who the Dolphins should be rooting for to win to help our playoff chances to move up the bracket and get closer to a wild card. So in this game, this is going to be a hard, tough game, but I think after watching, and then, their receivers are injured. The Vikings are banged up. I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one. So is my father, as the Dolphins want the Vikings to win this one. If the Vikings can beat the Steelers, because that one, that little dash of a tie, which it shouldn't, it helps them. Because they should be 6-6. Or they should be 7-5. But that dash helps them. Dolphins want the Vikings to win this one. So to help our standings, we want the Vikings to win this one. But I'm actually picking the Steelers. So is my dad. And the Steelers are actually getting 3. So even with the spread, again, on mybookie.ag is where I got those, I would go with the Steelers. Then we have 1 o'clock on Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Washington football team that helped out the Dolphins. They helped out the Dolphins by beating those Raiders last week, and the Cowboys on Thursday night taking care of the Saints are falling apart. We'll get to them. I'm going with Dallas. My father's going to Washington. I think this is going to be a good game. Washington's getting 4. I still think Dallas is going to win by about a touchdown. This has no implication on the Dolphins' playoff standings or anything, so there you have it. And then we have the Jaguars sitting there at 2-10. 2 wins are against the Dolphins and the Bills. Sad. Taking on the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee, sitting there at 8-4. Me and my father going for Tennessee. But as a Dolphin fan, and who the Dolphins should be rooting for, they want the Jaguars to win, being that they also play the Titans in about 3 weeks. 3 weeks they play the Titans, so kind of control that. Ain't happening though. Tennessee's gonna win this one. Tennessee's actually giving Jacksonville 8.5. I think that's a good about maybe 10 or more points. But Titans. But again, if somehow the Jacksonville Jaguars beat the Titans, that helps the Dolphins. Then we have Seattle pulling off that win against the 49ers. That helped the Dolphins with their draft picks. Thank you, Seattle. Taking on the Houston Texans, again, 2-10. Seattle, me and my father are going with Seattle. Houston's getting 7.5. Seattle's looking still a little rough, but I think they could pull this win off. Then we have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, for this one, the Dolphins, as Dolphin fans, and to help our playoff standings, we want the Chiefs to win this one, and we want the Raiders literally to just collapse at the end of the season like they did last year. It'll drastically help the Dolphins, being that they have the head-to-head schedule. Just a complete fall apart from the Raiders would help. I'm picking Kansas City. My father's picking Kansas City, and the Kansas City's giving the Raiders 9.5. So, they play them hard, so it's not a foregone conclusion that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to beat the Raiders, but it will help the Dolphins if the Raiders lose. Then we have the Saints, who are falling apart. Taysom Hill's fingers all banged up, taking on them Jets, 3-9. I'm going with the Saints in this one. My father's going with the Saints in this one. Jets are getting 5, and they're home. It's the defense for the Saints, but I know their defensive end just got banged up. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Saints are pretty banged up. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets win this game. So, I'd actually bet the spread. If the Jets are getting 5, I'd bet that. It might be a close game. Then we have the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Carolina Panthers. Both teams severely just going in downhill direction. Panthers firing their head coach. Falcons just kind of falling apart, getting mollywopped by the Buccaneers 30-17. I'm going with Atlanta in this one, though. I think that, Carolina, Cam Newton and all that stuff, I don't think they're as good. CMC is banged up again. It's just, they're falling apart. I'm going with Atlanta. My father's going with Carolina, and Atlanta's getting 2.5. So they're pretty much like an even team, but I like Atlanta a little bit better. I like their quarterback position a little bit better. Then we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. Baltimore, again, going for 2, and then bad throw by Lamar, costing them that game, sitting there at 8-4. And the Cleveland Browns had a bye last week, if I'm correct. Yes, they had a bye last week, but they're also falling apart. Same thing with Baker Mayfield being banged up. I'm going Baltimore in this one. My father's going with Baltimore in this one. Baltimore's actually only getting 2.5, though. So Baltimore's getting points. The Dolphins want Baltimore to win this one. Browns being 6-6, if they drop to 6-7, if there's like a 4-way tie at 6-7, the head-to-head with the Raiders doesn't really matter. So the Dolphins want the Ravens to win this one. But even if the Browns somehow beat the Ravens, if the Ravens start to fall apart, the Dolphins have the head-to-head with the Ravens. So for instant gratification, Baltimore. But I think in the long run, Ravens would have to lose a bunch. So I'm going to stick with Ravens need to win this one. Then we have the New York Giants, who lost to the Dolphins last week. The draft couldn't get it done for them, taking on the Chargers, who had a bounce-back game against the Cincinnati Bengals. I didn't see that coming. The Chargers are so inconsistent. The entire team is inconsistent. Justin Herbert looks great, and then some days he throws costly interceptions, and then he looks great, and then he throws costly interceptions. It's not just the defense. It's the entire Chargers are just inconsistent. I'm picking the Chargers, though. Giants are they're banged up. My dad's going with the Chargers. Giants are getting 10 because they have to fly all the way to the West Coast. By some miracle, if the Giants do win, that does help the Dolphins out. I don't see it happening, but as Dolphin fans, we are rooting for the Giants in that game. Then we have the 1-10-1 Detroit Lions. Good for you winning a game, especially against the division rival, taking on the Denver Broncos, who last week, I'm pretty sure, got the crap beat out of them. Yes, 22-9. Yeah. I'm going with Denver in this one. My father is going with Denver in this one. Denver's getting 8.5. They have to travel. Well, they don't have to travel too far, but they got to go to Denver. Dolphin fans, you want to be rooting for the Lions to win this one. Again, any 6-6 team, we want them to lose because a 4-way tie would probably boost us up. But I don't see that happening. Maybe Dan Campbell could pull it together, help his old team out, beat the Denver Broncos for us in Denver, but I don't see that happening. So yeah. Even with the point spread at 8.5, I don't see that happening. Then we have a conundrum here. Depends on your mindset, right? We have the 49ers heading to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Now, Cincinnati didn't do what we needed them to do last week as Dolphin fans and beat the Chargers, right? Joe Burrow hurt his pinky. I'm not even trying to make fun of him. His pinky's hurt. He hasn't practiced. They're hoping he can practice Friday or Thursday and Friday and be good for the game. So I'm picking the 49ers. My dad's picking the 49ers. They're playing hot. Even though they lost to Seattle last week, they're playing hot. And the Bengals, I don't know what's going on with Cincinnati. As Dolphin fans, and Cincinnati's getting 1 point in their home, so you can see what Vegas is thinking. As Dolphin fans, it's a double-edged sword here, right? For the draft, we want Cincinnati to win because it drops down the 49ers draft pick, and actually they'll have the same record as the Dolphins, so we want the Bengals to win. For playoff berth and for a chance to get into the playoffs, we want the 49ers to win. So in this game, my mindset, it's a win-win. Either it helps our draft pick or it helps us get in the playoffs. So it's a win-win at that point, but I am going with the 49ers in that one. Then we have the Buffalo Bills taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. Buffalo. I was rooting for you on Monday. It was going to help the Dolphins drastically if you swept the Patriots. 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts. No one's throwing the ball. Mac Jones threw the ball 3 times. They still were just, blah, 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 all over, Mac Jones saying that he's the best thing since sliced bread. Threw the ball 3 times. But Buffalo, literally, Bill Belichick, instead of holding his plays like this, which it's funny, you can see my notes further, holding plays like this, hiding it, he was like, I'm running the ball. I'm running the ball. And then he went over to the Bills head coach and he went, hey, listen, second half, I'm running the ball. I'm not throwing the ball. I'm running the ball the entire game. I'm running the ball. And you know what the Bills did? They did not stop them one bit. They ran all over them. And then their safety, and I don't know who the other player, I don't care, got all butthurt when one of the reporters asked him, well, why couldn't you stop the run? You gotta ask me a question like that. It's a very fair question when the Patriots threw the ball 3 times. You scored points. You could have won that game. You scored 10 points. They scored 14. They didn't score 2 touchdowns, but still, it was a 2-point conversion. And then did they get a safety? No. How did they? I didn't. Whatever. You're dumb. I'm picking the Bucs. My dad's picking the Bucs. Bills are getting 3. And as Dolphin fans, we want the Bucs to win. Now that they lost, if the Bills fall apart and they lose and they keep losing, all of a sudden we can overtake them. But again, they have that head-to-head sweeping of us. That's why we wanted them to beat the Patriots. But we should do one thing, Buffalo. They were running the ball. Then we have the Sunday night game. Division rivalry, Packers home taking on the Chicago Bears. Again, these last 2 have no implication on the Dolphins playoffs. They're NFC versus NFC teams. I'm going with the Packers. My dad's going with the Packers. The Packers are giving Chicago 12.5. I'll say that one more time. 12.5. It's in Lambeau. Green Bay. Even at 12.5, I'm going Green Bay. And then we have the Monday night game. The Rams heading to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. This should be a good one. But I don't know what Rams team is going to show up because the Rams have beaten one good team. You bring in Von Miller, you bring Odell, and we needed you to beat the 49ers on Monday Night Football as Dolphin fans. You couldn't do that for us. I'm picking Arizona. My father's picking Arizona. Rams, you getting 2.5? I don't care if you get 4.5. Arizona. And that's the pick'ems. Let me know. Let me know below. Out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games that Dolphins need help in. So again, just to reiterate, we want the Vikings to win. We want the Jaguars to win. We want the Chiefs to win. We want the Ravens to win. We want the Giants to win. We want the Lions to win. We want the 49ers to win. And we want Tampa Bay to win. I'll pop it up here for you. Those are the teams you're going to be rooting for, Dolphin fans, as you sit here on your bye. These teams right here. or these teams. I don't know what side I put it on. Those are the teams you're going to be rooting for. The teams that I think have a better chance of winning: Vikings, Kansas City, Baltimore, 49ers, Bucks. 5. Which will help us. You'll see after the bye. If those 5 teams that should win, you'll see. We'll move up drastically. But that is the pick'ems. Be sure to comment below. Let me know if I picked for, against, all that good stuff. And I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. And this comes from Level 2 Noob. And he says, comment of the day: do you think Tua is starting to force the ball to Waddle? It seems he's targeting Waddle more and more, to the point that he's forced a few throws to Waddle when other options have been open. Is it a familiarity thing / comfort thing? I think it's a combination of things. It's a very good question. I think it's a combination of things. I think that the offensive coordinators are seeing how dynamic he is and want to get the ball to him more. Because he helps win the games, and he helps move the ball. I also think it is that familiarity / comfortable that Tua has with Waddle, and vice versa. Waddle knows the type of balls that Tua is going to throw his way, and he knows that Waddle's going to catch the balls where, he's been burned with other receivers, Preston Williams and Albert Wilson and all these other guys. So I think it's a combination of both, but he threw some nice passes to Parker. He threw some nice passes to Gesicki. I think a lot of it has to do with what the defense is dictating. That is the style that Tua is playing right now, especially with the offensive line we have. And again, people want Tua to throw deep. People want these deep passes and all that stuff. But if you don't have time in the pocket and you don't get the chance to drop back, let the deep plays develop, and then have time to throw the deep passes, ain't going to happen. So a lot of what Tua's playing, a lot of what the offense is playing now is, what is the defense dictating to us? Oh, they're dropping back into coverage. All right, we'll throw these 10-yard, 5-yard crossers and let our speedy receivers get the extra yards. It's what we're doing now with the limitations we have. And no run game, 3.3 yards per carry, which is second to last in the NFL, and an offensive line that gives up the most pressures. I wish the pass game was more dynamic, more crazy. Tua does throw the passes over the middle. He's the kill you with 1,000 paper cuts. He's going to just right down the field, dun, dun, dun. And it's so funny. People get all bent out of shape, and people get all, check down Tua. He only throws the ball 2 yards. He only throws the ball 5 yards. That's Mac Jones. That's literally what Mac Jones does. Mac Jones in that Patriot offense is just do what the defense gives you. He threw a 5-yard out route to his receiver, not last week, the week before, and that man took it upfield, broke 3 or 4 tackles, and took it the other 30, 40 yards for a touchdown. On his stat sheets, it shows a 40-yard pass. He threw it 5 yards. So that's just the style that we're playing right now. Just kill you. And then all of a sudden, he keeps killing you. You start to bite on those, and then you'll see the deep pass like we did to Waddle for 25 yards. Or you see the deep pass that we did to Gesicki for 30, 40 yards. Or, just dink, 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 because there's no running game. And with no running game, you can't have play action where the defense jumps on the play action, because they're not scared of the run game, because our offensive line can't block for the run game. So what you do to retroact not having a run game is you have the short passes. So you get your guys out in the open field, whether it's 2, 3, 4 yards, and it's kind of like a pitch, but more this way. And then you hope that they can break it off and get some extra yards. Because again, 3.3 yards per carry, second to last in the NFL, is a detriment to the offensive line. So many people say to me, why are you so critical of the offensive line and not Tua? I'm critical of Tua. I am critical of Tua. But Tua doesn't make as many dumb mistakes and cost us as many plays as the offensive line, whether it's false starts, holding, blown coverages, sacks, all that stuff. Tua will miss a few guys, Tua will miss a few plays, and I'll point it out. He should have hit this one, or he missed like 2 weeks ago. He missed Waddle. It could have been a potential. I point him out, but then he comes back, he makes fantastic plays, whereas the offensive line, oh, Doug, but on that play, he had time in the pocket. That's because we kept 7 in to block. We kept the 5 offensive linemen, and then we kept the tight end and the running back in to help block 4 guys to give Tua enough time. So I went off on a little tangent, level 2 new. I do apologize. But to answer your question, I think it's a combination of what the offense is playing, getting your playmaker the ball, and him being comfortable with Waddle, knowing, oh, he'll catch this. I trust him to catch this, even though he did drop a very easy crossing route. But I hope I answered your question. But that's the video. I'm not going to see you tomorrow. Dolphins don't play tomorrow, the Sunday, so there's no preview video. My baby, my child, is turning 1 on Saturday. So tomorrow and the day after that, I will be busy just getting ready for her 1-year party. And then her 1-year-old party is Saturday. And then Sunday, I have a special video either Sunday night or Monday. I have a special video, especially after all the games are played, what the Dolphins need to do for the playoff hunt and all that stuff. So I got a lot planned still. But I'm going to take these next couple of days to spend it with my baby. She's turning 1. It's crazy to me that it was 1 year ago Saturday that I was in the hospital. And then I made that video for you guys previewing the Chiefs game. And it's turned 1. It's crazy to me. So I love you guys. I will see you probably Sunday or Monday. But yeah, if breaking news happens, I'll give you a video. Like, who's the linebacker that got cut? Zach Cunningham. I want the Dolphins to claim him. So if the Dolphins do end up claiming him, he has this bye week to get ready. He can play against the Jets. Will help drastically on that defense and the linebacker core. I'll make a video talking about that. But other than that, guys, I'll see you Sunday or Monday. Love you guys. And like usual, stay classy. Enjoy the bye. Fins up.